at the G20 summit last summer. So I think, as I said, the police have a bit of a PR issue here. It's going to look bad on them if they crack down on people. So luckily, I suppose in that sense, it works out for the protesters. They're having free range to kind of march around the city into different communities in order to try to get more people to support their cause.
And by the way, in the last decade, Dan, as you know, there's been such an abrogation of the First Amendment here, right to assemble, that you have up there under common law as well, that it's shocking when the police just act like they're in North America and not North Korea. But I agree with you. They also, at this point, just want you guys to go away. They don't want to make you look like victims. If you continue, though, I think down the road you will see some of the crackdowns. First the demonization, then the crackdowns. But for those that don't know, you document in your End of the Fire really first. I mean, I saw it in this film first, and then now it's been admitted in the mainstream news in Canada that you had police provocateurs. There's been a history of that before. There was a total color of law fraud where just basically anywhere in the city they'd say no taping, no assembly, we have a secret order. Well, the reason it was secret is it turned out the order didn't say that. It was just made up crap. The cops were told there's a secret order, there's no freedom now. You know, kind of like Hitler. Well, it's a secret order. I'm your Fuhrer. Bow down and kiss my hind end. So give us a report, for those that don't know, what we saw at the G20, because then it was the model at the G20 here, G20 in England. They killed a guy delivering newspapers to a gas station. I mean, we're seeing all over the world when the globalist banksters arrive, there's no reason for this except they want to practice globally giving the orders and watching a total crackdown, including military people in uniforms snatching and grabbing peaceful people in Pittsburgh, arresting my reporter Rob Dew for no reason. He's having to sue them now and taking him to some gulag with people with bags over their heads. I mean, this is really a beta test to try to turn us into a fascist system, but it's the same stamp worldwide.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the same kind of things here in Toronto last year, the snatch and grabs, undercover vans with plainclothes police officers doing snatch and grabs. I interviewed a number of people who just had unbelievable experiences. There was an elderly gentleman who had his prosthetic leg ripped off by the police. They ordered him to hop to the squad car, and when he said, you know, I can't physically do that, they wouldn't give his leg back to him because they said it might be used as a weapon. And so many of those stories kept coming in to me. And we documented it all in the film, Into the Fire. If anybody's interested in checking it out, you can definitely see it on prisonplanet.tv, or you can get it from Infowars.com. But we documented the whole thing. It went on for the whole weekend, and we pretty much covered everything chronologically, starting all the way back from even 2 months before the summit even began, when we started seeing the police state kind of ramping up here in the streets of Toronto, with the fences going up, with more and more police officers being in the streets. And I basically assembled a pretty solid team of about 8 camera guys who we were all in different positions all throughout the city to make sure we could capture absolutely everything that was going on. And anything we didn't capture, the good people of Toronto gave their footage to me and said, Dan, I like your work. I trust you're going to do good stuff with my footage. Please take it. And so we put together Into the Fire. It was 9 months in the making now, and it's out there online now. So if people want to see it for themselves, you can check it out.
Well, you're right. It is posted here at prisonplanet.tv that brings folks Infowars Nightly News. And the DVD is also available at Infowars.com. People should purchase the DVD, not just watch it here at prisonplanet.tv or on the web in general, because obviously you want it to be out there for free for everybody. But at the same time, filmmakers can't continue to do what they're doing without support. We're not like the government that forcibly takes your money and then uses it against you. And I would add that, of course, you head up Press for Truth, a team of videographers, investigative journalists, and political activists who do their best to expose the global elite and their plans for a new world order, really the new true media. And it is great to have Dan with us. He got the idea to kick off this alternative media group based in Toronto in 2006, and since then it's reached millions of people. And none of us are going to defeat the globalists by ourselves, but it's all of us as individualists acting that will collectively, not globalist collectivism, but true individual collectivism, our individual actions with shared ideas and beliefs that will defeat the globalist collectivist hive Borg, their fascist corporatist Borg. Now, Dan, I know you're watching what's happening here in the U.S., but we have this idea it can't happen here, and that's why America's become so incredibly wicked. That is the forces that run it. But last night I covered it. Earlier in the evening I went over it. We're now learning, as Google is doing this transparency data dump, that the police ordered videos taken down off Google because it, quote, showed brutality, in their words, and Google did it. The federal government ordered videos taken down that were, quote, critical of government. And now they have this internet kill switch bill that doesn't just let the president kill the whole internet if he wants, but a la carte, any site seen as a rogue. And you read it, no judge, no jury. They just say it's rogue. They say it's illegal. They say it violates a copyright. You don't get a hearing. You don't get any process. Your site's gone blacklisted. This is the Chinese model. But they're reporting it in mainstream news like, we're going to get Chinese systems to keep you safe. And cybersecurity, the Pentagon's going to run it. Wow. I mean, it's even I can't believe we're here watching this happen. I hope people realize that they better get your physical address, my physical address. They better go to Infowars.com and sign up for the Infowars Insider with the email, because we've been told by experts that's the real way to, in the future, try to still circumvent them from anywhere with, information in an email way, where they may not even be able to see our films in the future. We already had the Federal Reserve 2 weeks ago threaten YouTube to take down a video critical of them. And that's still pending in the YouTube hearing system review board. They said it would be reviewed in just a few days. It's just still pending. So the system is scared. It knows we now see them. It knows Dan Dix and Alex Jones and a million others like us, black, white, old, young, Hispanic, Asian, female, male, whatever. They know worldwide those sunglasses are going on, to use a they live analogy. And the system is saying, hey, we're criminals. They're going to bring us to justice. We're going to be in jail like Ken Lay or Bernie Madoff. Go ahead and bring in tyranny. I mean, don't people understand, they won't try tyranny or really hardcore tyranny because it'll be too obvious. They don't have a choice. Do you understand, folks? It's done. It's set. I believe the staged terror attacks are right around the corner. Bioweapon releases, I can see all the preparation, Dan. Everybody, though, even people that didn't used to believe me, now say in their gut they can see it. I mean, now it's so naked. This isn't Hitler 1933. It's Hitler 1940. This isn't the Soviet Union 1918. This is Soviet Union, 1950s. People really now, I'm ranting. What's your worldview on all this?
Well, absolutely, Alex. I think we're seeing, in the last 5 years or so, there's been a massive awakening happening. And I think what we're seeing now is the culmination of that. People who have been waking up to these issues are now getting to the point where they're ready to get active. They're ready to get out in the streets. They're ready to meet like-minded people and begin to work together in solidarity to try to build a better future. And you're absolutely right. I think the establishment is running scared. They're worried that this movement may gain some momentum and be quite a problem for them. So we're just going to have to continue our efforts and just hope that this thing, as I said before, gets steered in a direction which is going to benefit us and not the establishment. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future here, Alex.
Well, I think you just said it right there. The system knows there's an awakening. They're trying to co-opt it. And if they can't, they're going to rubber bullet it. But people that work for the system, they're being destroyed by this. It's the law of diminishing returns. I mean, this New World Order is going straight to hell. Dan, give me your boiled-down view of what the New World Order is, what its goals are from your research. I mean, really, you've got the soapbox for the last 3-4 minutes here.
Yeah, well, the whole plan of this New World Order, which has been going on for centuries now, has always all been about uniting everything into one so they can set up their world government, their one world cash system, even a one world religion. So it's all about uniting people under this singular umbrella. And I think that's where we need to be careful with this occupation movement, because when things begin to move onto a global level, we have to remember this has been the goal of the New World Order for centuries now, is to unite everybody under the singular umbrella. And in order to do that, people have to be on the same page mentally, spiritually, and they have to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I think that are the goals, and they're even starting to suggest these types of solutions to these problems that are being raised. people are saying, you know, what we need is a world central bank and a global authority to see over all these financial institutions. So they've been setting it up for years now. They've got their ducks in a line, and they're getting ready to take that next step to try to bring everything together. But as I said, there's a huge awakening happening. People are beginning to become aware of this fact. They realize that they're not getting the truth from the mainstream media, and they're beginning to look to alternative sources for information like Infowars.com, like pressfortruth.ca, and people are hungry for the truth because they know something's wrong. They know something is fundamentally flawed with the system. And the beautiful thing about this, Alex, is people are beginning to get out, get in the streets, get active, and work together to change this world and make it a better place so we can bring this whole new world order and it can come crashing down.
Well, you're right, Dan. And look, you had the Vatican on Monday come out and call for a global government and a global bank. Well, that's exactly what the private banking heads that created the derivatives have been calling for. And the VAT, the sales taxes, the global carbon taxes. And now they're going to hold the world hostage until the nations give over all their sovereignty. And it's not some loving Star Trek world government. This is a tyrannical, oppressive, eugenics-based world government. And to see the Vatican that was so heavily involved in the Treaty of Rome to begin the establishment of the EU in 1957, to now see, you know, even their big council say, you banks are bad, and the way we're going to punish you is a big Bank of the World to run everything and stop you banks from doing this. That's the very Bank of the World they've been proposing now for 3 years, which I read about from the Trilateral Commission saying they would do all of this in the mid-'70s. And that's what's so frustrating. We didn't just guess what they were going to do, and wow, good guess. This has all been stated. We don't just say they put sterilants in vaccines. It's the Rockefeller Foundation documents we showed last night. I mean, but people are still, people always ask me, why, Alex? You know, I wouldn't do something like that. You wouldn't. They can't get, well, you wouldn't kill kids and bury them in your backyard either. But people get caught all the time doing that. I mean, you know, they show these videos of like a woman in England walks over to a cat, and she, you know, hits it. Just for no reason. It's out standing there being nice. She starts petting it. She does something mean to it. You know, why do people do that? It's like, well, why? Because they're crazy, because they're control freaks. The point is, look at history. This is the norm. Stop thinking it can't happen, because your denial, your ignorance of history out there, and I don't even mean our viewers, but those that this is passed on to, this is what is allowing this to manifest. This is what is allowing this to take place. It's like somebody who smokes 5 packs of cigarettes a day and wonders why they get lung cancer when they're 45. You know, they just all act, I'm not going to get lung cancer. That's other people. Now, this world has cancer. It's called global tyrants. So, again, Dan, in closing, what can you say to the awakening process? Because, yeah, just because somebody wakes up doesn't mean they've gotten their bearings yet. And so that's why the establishment's like, you've woken up. We're the big banks, Federal Reserve. We agree with you, Occupy Wall Street. We want to raise taxes on rich people. That's anybody making more money than you. It won't be getting rid of NAFTA or GATT that'll get you a job. It won't be devaluing the currency we're doing that's the problem. It's anybody with more money than you. Let's take their money, okay? I mean, that's where this is at.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people need to do is to continue to network with each other. And when you're starting out and trying to get active, it's good to go online and try to find certain groups that are involved with the issues that you're interested in. Go on Facebook, check out the different groups, look at the meetup.com and try to find like-minded people that you can eventually meet and begin to work with them. And then, of course, you know, I always feel it's important to arm yourself with the greatest weapon in this info war, which is the camera. And anytime you're at any of these events, and we are living in amazing times right now, pretty much everybody has a camera in their pocket with their smartphones and cell phones and so forth. So it's an incredible time to expose these evil, wicked elites that are doing their dark deeds in the dark, and we can expose that now by getting together, staying active, getting out in the streets, joining together, and of course documenting the whole thing, and so that you can show the world what's happening, and our numbers will continue to grow in this movement that is getting huge, Alex.
All right, Dan Dix, God bless. Good to talk to you from Canada.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this edition of Infowars Nightly News. And I will close with what I said at the beginning of the transmission and what I